Okay, good evening and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube, Iyun with Benzion. Tonight, this daf is Nedarim daf Lamed number 39. I want to talk about the Mishnah over here. The Mishnah on Lamed and Beis. Let's read it. Amudar anami chaveiro v'nichnas havakar omidav alo yoshev. The first clause in the Mishnah states, right? Someone is asar hana. You have a visitor and you have a sick person. So you can come in to visit him, to stand there, but not to sit down. Obviously, sitting down takes more time. You got to talk with him. Stand there, you just say hello or feel better, and then you leave. So the Gemara asks, what are we talking about? What's the case in the Mishnah? Who's the one that can't get anab from the other person? So Shmuel gives the first answer, and we paskin like Shmuel. Lula gives a different answer, but Shmuel gives an answer, and there's an Ibayasema in Shmuel's answer. We'll talk about that in a second. Shmuel says, the fourth line of Lamed and Aleph, L'olam b'shnichsim v'vakar shurun al chola. The person who can't get benefit is the chola. The sick person can't get benefit from the vakir. Now, the Gemara said on the first line of this daf, the Gemara says if that's the case, seemingly it should be mutter even to sit down, because what hana am I providing by sitting down? Even though I'm going to talk to the guy and make him feel better, but financially did he benefit? No, he's probably doing him a favor. Physically did he benefit? No, probably not. Doesn't help you. As I mentioned, when someone comes to visit you, it makes you feel a lot better. It brightens your mood. But I don't know if you're physically in a lot of pain. I don't think it's going to alleviate that pain. Pain medication will do that, but not person coming and sitting down and talking to you. And emotionally, it makes you feel better. So Mara originally assumed, that emotional benefits, making you feel better emotionally, is not considered part of the hana. So what's the problem of coming and visiting you? So the Gemara answers, it's a place, apparently there's different places, right? Most places, most communities I'm familiar with, no one takes money for going to visit other people. Usually the people who get visited are the people in the community, same shul, family, friends. When they come visit you, the stupid fly is bothering the heck out of me. I think it's the same one from Thursday night. Okay, kill that fly. Most people, they don't take money, and there's no places that charge fees. But like I mentioned, when I was in college, right, there was a volunteer service. It was volunteer where we'd go around to hospitals, people we didn't know, Jewish people in the hospital, old people had no relatives, no friends. We'd visit them for free. But technically, it's conceivable that you can get paid for such a thing, to visit people who need to be visited, but they don't have the relatives or the friends to visit them. So you can take a fee. So if it's a place where you charge a fee for that, right? So the Gemara says you can only charge a fee for sitting down, because you're really spending time with them. You sit down with a sick person, you're spending time with them, you're showing them you care about them, you're coming to their level, they're on a bed, you're on a chair. When you just come by and stand up and say hello, and then you leave, right? Or even if you stand for a couple of minutes, you don't bother sitting down, you're showing them you're not really interested in it. It helps a little bit, acknowledging the fact that people acknowledge that you're sick, they know about it, they take into account that you're sick, but you're not really emotionally helping them so much. So the Gemara says you can't take money for standing there. So that's gezel, you can't take money for standing there. So the Mishnah says you can't sit down. The simple explanation of the Gemara is that it's a place where you could charge for it. I don't know the person, I could charge for it, but I'm doing a favor for him. So he's benefiting financially because I'm not charging for him. Amida, right? I can't charge for anyway, so I'm not doing it. He's not financially benefiting over here. That's the first answer. The second, the Gemara says, we're going to see later on, there's an opinion that we're concerned, even though right now you're not doing an Avera, but since you might stick around, so therefore it's an Avera to even start. So here also you shouldn't sit down, because once you sit down, it's hard to get up. You might sit down too long. Now, the question is, what really are they arguing about, Shmuel and Ibayasema? Now, if we're like I said before, we're talking about a place where they're not nolan schar yeshiva, right? You're doing a favor to the guy, right? So what is he adding? The second opinion, you might come to stay longer, right? You're doing a favor. So he doesn't agree with Shmuel, right? So to stay and do it for free, right? That would not be usher, but stay a little longer than a normal person would take with a fee, right? To do an extra favor, that is considered something which is financially benefit. I mean, because you charge more. It doesn't really make so much sense over here. He says a little longer. If we're talking about the case Shmuel and him, and anybody's saying we're talking about the case, we're doing the guy a favor, right? You could take money, but you're not. What's the difference of 5 minutes or 6 minutes? It's hard to understand. So I said in the explanation of the Gemara in the Daf Yomi, I said, according to the second opinion, presumably have to say that he took the fee, right? He's still even talking about a case where you take the fee. Right? Shmuel was talking about you didn't take the fee, you waived the fee, financially benefiting a free visit. The second opinion is saying he took the fee, but he might stay longer, in which case he's doing a favor when he could charge extra for overtime. But that doesn't seem to be the simple explanation of the Gemara. So I'd like to suggest a chiddush over here. The Havamim of the Gemara doesn't make so much sense. The Havamim of the Gemara, why is it not considered a benefit to the person? Fine, you're not financially benefiting the guy. It's a place where people do it for free. And it's not considered to be a physical benefit. You're not alleviating his pain, but still emotionally, you're helping him a lot. The Gemara says in Lamed Nedarim base that you take away 1/60th of his pain, talking about his emotional pain probably, by doing Bikur Cholet. So it's a hard Havamina to understand. So I'd like to suggest that that's the Gemara really is turning. That's the Kamashlan of the Gemara. That's the Chiddush of Shmuel. The Shmuel is going back on our Havamina. Shmuel is saying, if it's a place, right? If you're in a community, a lot of people are in communities like this, where people, that's the minhag is when people are sick, your friends or your relatives are sick, you visit them. So is that really a benefit? It's a makom she'ein lo l'nschar, right? It's not a case where you could take a fee for it. It's not normal to take fees for visiting friends or relatives. So you're not getting any benefit from the guy because you know that when you get better, hopefully from the sickness, you're going to have to visit him. So when someone does a favor for you, you have to pay that favor back. So you're not really getting anything. You're getting something at the moment, but you're really indebted to that person to do him a favor. So it's not really a benefit. So that's why Shmuel says we're talking about a case yeshiva. It's not where he's getting it for free and he's benefiting because the guy's waiving the fee. I don't think that's the case because you should pay. If you have to pay for it, you should be paying. And normal people would pay for something like that. If it's a place that they charge, right? You're a person who doesn't have friends and relatives, and there's a fee for people coming to visit you, and you have the funds in your bank to pay for it, you should be paying for it. And probably you are paying for it. Nonetheless, Shmuel is being mechadesh. It's still usher for the cholet to get it when his yeshiva, when there's a midah, just recognition, okay, he's coming, he's saying hello, he's stopping by for a second. It doesn't make you feel good. It doesn't alleviate emotionally the pain. However, when he sits down with you, even though that's the chiddush, even though you're paying for him, technically I paid for him, I paid for his service. But Bikur Cholim, like the Gemara is saying, it's such a great thing that yes, what are you paying for the guy? You're paying for the guy to sit there, his time, his effort to help you out, to get you things you need, to clean the room, we'll see. But the emotional thing, the emotional baggage that he's taking off by sitting there, that's something that's added on. That it's an emotional benefit, and that's the Chiddush of Shmuel, that it's even usher. It's usher to get hana, even emotionally to get hana, because people don't take extra money for the emotional thing that you're doing. They take it for the physical thing they're doing. Nonetheless, emotionally benefiting is the problem. That's what Shmuel is mechadish over here. And then the second opinion by Zema, Shema Yisha Yeshiva, you might sit a little longer. He argues, the second Ibay Zema argues and says, no, of course you're taking money over here, right? You're taking money, you're taking a fee, like I mentioned before. However, he holds emotionally, there's no extra hana. The only extra hana, you might stay a little longer and not charge him for it when you should be charging, and that's the financial benefit. Everyone agrees a financial benefit is considered a hana, a forbidden hana. That would be the machlokas Ibay Zema. We pass on like Shmuel, the first Ibay Zema, emotional benefit is a real benefit, is included in Isra hana. Hope you enjoyed tonight's share. See you in the next one.